Welcome back. Joining us as always is North Cenrtal Sports Information Director, Clark Teuscher. Clark, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
So the men's basketball team bounces back from a tough loss against Wheaton College with a big win over North Park.
Well, that's the name of the game. You know, they still had a chance to clinch an outright conference title with 2 wins this week, and definitely got off to a good start doing that on Tuesday. Got a chance to get a lot of good guys off the bench into the game and give the starters a little bit of rest after getting a big lead early. They kind of relaxed a little bit in the second half, which I'm sure Coach Raridan wasn't happy about, but were able to come back at the end and kind of reestablish that large lead that they had earlier. So a good performance all around, with the conference championship on the line.
And let's go back to that game against the Thunder. That was actually the first loss the Cardinals suffered on their home floor. How do you think the team was, feeling about that?
Well, they probably weren't real happy about it. I'm sure they took that one pretty personally. They hadn't had to deal with that at all this season, and we're going for actually a tie for the school record for wins at home during a regular season. But they've still got a chance to do that to this coming Saturday. But the name of the game is bouncing back, and it's a tough loss, but there's always another game to play. So they definitely regrouped and got their act together.
Well, the Cardinal Report was there to see the men's basketball team battle the Thunder at Gregory Arena. Let's go to the highlight. Wheaton Thunder, the only team to beat North Cenrtal in the CCIW this season. Coach Raridan and the Cardinals looking for a little payback, as well as the CCIW regular season championship. Landon Gamble didn't score a basket in the Cardinals' last home contest against Augustana, but that wasn't the case in this one. He led the Cardinals with 19 points in the game, many of those coming in the paint, but the Cardinals were chasing the Thunder for almost the entire first half. Wheaton shot 50% from behind the arc in the first, led by Jeremy Fledler, who had 7 of his 10 points in the opening half. Cardinals would tie it up with 2:30 to go with a nice pick and roll from Derek Raridan to Aaron Tickness, but the Thunder would end the half on a 5-2 run, taking a 3-point lead into the break. Wheaton would keep up the intensity in the second half as Tim McCrary gets the block on Gamble, and the Thunder are off to the races. John DeMoss would miss the layup, but Peters right there to clean up the mess. The Thunder out-rebounded the Cardinals 33-23 in the contest. Cardinal defense tightens up, now tied at 56, as the Raridan steal leads to the fast break layup by CJ Goldthreet. He would make the and one, and the Cardinals claim their first lead of the game with 2 minutes to go. But a pair of big threes would put the Cardinals down again, as Fledler hits one from the corner, and the next possession, Aaron Garriott follows suit from the top of the key. Cardinals had one last chance to tie with 1.1 to go on the clock. Tickness inbounds to Kevin Gillespie, but he can't get the prayer to go, and the Thunder hand the Cardinals their first home loss of the season. So Clark, you mentioned this a little earlier, but even with that loss, the Cardinals still have a chance to claim the regular season CCIW title with the win over Milliken this week.
It sets up a stage for a great day at Gregory Arena. We're honoring the seniors before the game. It'll be great to be able to send them out with an outright conference title, which hasn't been done at North Cenrtal since 1990.
Wow, so that's a long time, and the Cardinals have really been getting it done on the court. It seems like almost every week or every other week, one of them is named the CCIW Player of the Week, and Aaron Tickness grabs that honor this week. He's really been a big threat inside and outside for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's been an award that's been kind of a long time coming for Aaron. He's had a whale of a season this year, not necessarily being the leading scorer, but doing all these other things, on both ends of the court that make other players better. He really, came through with a career high in scoring at Illinois Wesleyan last Tuesday, with about 23 points, and then came back with a strong game against Wheaton in the loss on Saturday. So certainly a nice recognition for a guy who's having an excellent year.
And the men's track and field team keeps rolling. They run to a first-place finish at the Chicagoland Indoor Championships.
Yeah, they almost tripled the score of the second-place team. So certainly a nice outing across the board. Had a season-best marks in several events, running events as well as field events. So certainly a strong showing as we get down here in the last month before the national championships.
And the Cardinals go 1-2-3 in the 400. That really shows the depth of this team in the sprints, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, when you have good 400-meter runners, it really helps you out in a lot of events because you can just kind of put those guys anywhere. And, you got your relays and all that. It becomes a very versatile team when you're good in that event. And with 4 guys in the top 25 nationally, in Division III with the championship meets still to come, is certainly a strong point for the team heading into the national championships.
And another strong point really seems to be the pole vault. The Cardinals just keep getting atop the leaderboard in that as well.
Yeah, those guys have a really healthy competition going in terms of, who's in first or whatnot each week, and they really work together and help each other out, and you can definitely tell that in their performances.
So it really seems like they're cheering each other on almost.
It's an individual sport, but they've really set up a team atmosphere, within each of the events, and each of them act as their own teams and really, try to help each other excel. And you can definitely see that as the results have come through in the last few weeks.
And the wrestling team, they finished 4th in the CCIW, but they were really without some of their top wrestlers, weren't they?
Yeah, they were kind of decimated by some injuries and some illnesses and some other commitments and things guys had going on. So they only were able to take about 6 guys to the championships, and when you're forfeiting 4 weight classes, that really, it doesn't leave you much room for error. They did get 1 individual championship from Joby Bodie at 157. It was the 2nd year that he's won that championship. So certainly a good honor for a senior in his last CCIW championship. But
the regionals are just a couple weeks away. Do you think that's what the Cardinals have really been focusing on, especially with Nathan Fitzgerald and Andrew Zobak?
Yeah, that's kind of the drill for every year, because that's what gets you the national championship. Regardless of what happens, regular season, preseason, anything like that, you get it done at the regionals, then you get your ticket to nationals, and that's definitely where their focus has been.
And the preseason poll comes out for softball, and the Cardinals are picked to finish first so far.
Yeah, those are tough things to really judge because you don't know who everybody has and what kind of shape or condition that they're in. And, practice has just really started for all those teams. So it's certainly a nice honor that the coaches respect the program that much that they put them in first place there. But I'm sure what Coach K will tell you is that, that now they just have some work to do because they have to earn that first place ranking now.
Well, Clark, as always, thanks so much for keeping us up to date on all things North Central.
Thanks a lot.
The women's track and field team is back in action this weekend on their home track at the Cardinal Classic. And next week we have the women's basketball team in studio for a recap of their season. See you here next time on the Cardinal Report.